And a look at the status here of both teams' injured players and who will not be in the lineup.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
The starters for the Portland Trail Blazers. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Nurkic is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Clippers, they've got Batum. Rajon Rondo is out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. So the Portland Trail Blazers able to put the first points up on the board. Now McCollum, Lillard with it. George picks him up. Lillard, the pass to McCollum. Shoots the 3. Covington dishes to Lillard. Trailblazers moving the ball around. Kicks it out to McCollum. Pass to Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. Second shot opportunity, and it's sent back by George. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Rondo.
How about the focus and locked-in nature of Kawhi Leonard? My goodness.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
It's good on the putback.
Always better to be lucky than good when it comes to offensive rebound. And unless you're as good as he is, then those tip-ins are all about skill.
Now, here's Lillard. Nurkic finds Powell. They double him with George. Yep, it counts.
Well, you don't want to see Norman Powell settling for outside looks. Love when he goes to work down deep.
Outside, George misses the 3. Trailblazers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Lillard. Outside Covington. Rondo against Lillard. Leonard with no one around. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
What a smooth-looking release from Kawhi Leonard. Doing work in the mid-range. That is his comfort zone.
It's McCollum on the wing. Back to Lillard. It's McCollum on the wing. He's covered by Rondo. Lillard attacking. Here's Nurkic, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard.
Nurkic doesn't take a lot of bad shots, so when he decides to pull up off the dribble, you know he's feeling it.
Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down.
McCollum with the ball. George picks him up. And the basket by McCollum.
If there's a weakness in your defense, McCollum will find it. Reads the floor exceptionally well.
Outside, George kicks it to Rondo. Releases. Not going to go that time. And the Trailblazers going the other way. And now Portland on the break. And the basket by Lillard. Lillard's got his second basket. Boy, your alma mater, UNLV, Greg, has produced some great NBA players over the years. I mean, so many great names.
No doubt about it. Listen, I got a special place in my heart for my former teammates Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon.
Right.
But also guys like Sean Marion. You can go back to Reggie Diaz, who was a tremendous player. And right now in the league, you got Kim Birch, dunk champ Derrick Jones, and up-and-comer in Christian Wood.
Good mentions.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Terrific form at the line throughout last season. 89% on the year.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Cantor checked in for McCollum. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Derrick Jones, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for Lillard. And here are the Trailblazers now. Clippers able to drain the 3. To the right side. Here's Simons. Oh, trying for it. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. We have got to see that sensational mobile one block again.
And early in a game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone.
Clippers trail by 3. Kennard on the wing. Cantor against Patterson. Pass to Jackson. Kennard for 3. Rebounded by Anthony.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And there's the pass to Simons. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Anthony.
Well, you have to want to be a good defensive player, and Marcus Morris has committed to being more effective and aggressive contesting shots. That's nice.
Near the three-point line, it's Morris, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so the first quarter is in the books. Portland out in front. They lead by 5. We'll be back shortly. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And taking a look at the Trailblazers' performance, what do you think they're doing or not doing?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys have done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Trailblazers, they've got Norman Powell, Anthony out there with Jones. Then it's Enes Kanter, and it's Simons in at the 1. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. It's a 5-point game. Patterson. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
Portland moving the ball around. Jones kicks to Powell. Pass to Kanter. Plays it up and banks it in.
Well, Kanter just has an ability to score on the interior. That's his special skill.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Outside Jackson. Pass to Mann. Kennard on the wing. Here's Patterson. Excellent D from Kanter.
Boy, that's the kind of look this offense is designed to create. That's just a tough miss.
Kicks to Powell. Passes to Simons. And stolen by Patterson. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Got a piece of it.
Encouraging to see Kanter trying harder on the defensive end. There's height. There's ability to block shots. Go to work, Enes.
To the inside. And it's blocked. And he recovers it. The pass to Simons. Now here's Powell. Not a lot of room. 5 on the clock. And the dunk by Powell.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, Norman Powell, these last several seasons, has turned himself into a knockdown shooter. And obviously, last season, much more involved on the offensive end. And that, to me, was his best performance to date.
Anthony against Morris. Anthony, the pass to Kanter. Back to Anthony. He kicks it to Powell. Three-pointer. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
And with Powell, they rely on his shooting to open things up for everyone else.
Yeah, and for Norman Powell, he knows what he's about and welcomes that role. This is a guy who understands how to relocate in the midst of plays to create separation from defenders. He's always ready in catch-and-shoot situations.
Here's Simons, guarded by Jackson. And it's Simons missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
It'll go. The Portland lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Kennard.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Simons surveying the D. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Patterson finds Jackson. Back to Morris. Left block shot on the way. Again, Los Angeles.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Here's Simons, guarded by Jackson. Pass to Simons. To the paint, Cantor. Kicks it out to Jones. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Nurkic checked in for Cantor. Robert Covington comes in for Anthony. C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Damian Lillard in for Anthony Simons. Here's George. The shot off that time, so the Trailblazers will take it the other way. McCollum passes to Lillard from outside the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. Lillard's got 7 points in the game.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
Great positioning on the putback.
Hard work and soft hands. Guys, that's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in. Nurkic kicks to Lillard. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Leonard inside, working on Jones.
Well, Kawhi Leonard is efficient with his shooting form. Makes it look easy right there.
Covington in the corner. Nurkic finds Jones. 2 on the clock. And then Jones with the jam.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
All right, and wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness, the D with no chance to reach. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the end. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5. And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You have to like what we've seen so far from Damian Lillard.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, he knows they're coming for him, but he's accustomed to that kind of attention, and he's quite comfortable dealing with it.
Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. That's Rajon Rondo. And it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue. We know how important the draft is, Greg. It can shape an organization. Talk about some of the best draft day deals of the last couple decades. There have been a lot of them.
Oh, there have been a few. I mean, just coming to mind here recently. How about when Kawhi was traded to the Spurs? That was a huge get. Go back
George
to how
Hill.
about Kobe going to the Lakers? McHale and Parrish coming to the Celtics. I mean, we've seen that happen quite a bit, and I tell you what, boy, it can really transform a franchise's future.
George against McCollum. 6 to shoot. It's Powell on the wing. And he overshot that one, missing.
Well, trying to find themselves in the second half here. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Can someone in the group get hot? Let's see.
Kicks it out to McCollum. Lillard outside. To the middle. Batum brings the double team. Leonard with the steal. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, you love the tenacity. Paul George cannot be contained when he gets near the 10.
And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach.
Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. Back to Lillard. They need this. Yep, that one goes. Lillard's got 4 points now in the quarter.
What strength from Lillard, just not allowing the defense to have the last word.
And it's George missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
And the basket by Lillard.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative. They are strong.
And here's George for three. Zubac finds Batum. Back to Zubac. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
It's his first trip to the line.
And his percentage at the line last season, right at the 75% mark.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Patterson, he's checked in for Batum. Morris comes in for Leonard. And it's Jackson in for Rajon Rondo. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Cantor checked in for Nurkic. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for C.J. McCollum. Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile one block we just saw on replay.
Emphatic with the rejection. You've got to appreciate that kind of forceful defense.
The shot by George, no good.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
Here's Lillard, and Damian Lillard with the jam.
And for a point guard, Lillard has some hops. Outstanding at knowing when to use them for the dunk.
Patterson can't get it to go. Trailblazers have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Inside, here's Anthony. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Now it's a 4-point Portland lead.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
I'll tell you, this has not been his game, and he's making it worse with shot selection like that.
Here's Lillard. He's got 15. There's the dish to Carmelo. Clock at 6. And that one's good. Lillard's got 10 points here in the second half.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Portland leading by 6. From deep. And it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
I'll tell you, this guy is proving to be a problem for the defense. In this quarter, he has been special.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Jackson from long range. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Here's Simons. Lillard, right side. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Derek Jones is out there with Anthony, and it's Cantor in at the 5. And the basket by Lillard.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Here's George. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
You love that this guy doesn't get down on himself after a rough first half. Keep your composure and keep grinding.
McCollum right side. Pass to Lillard. And yes, it's good.
You can see it. Once this guy gets his rhythm, he is so hard to slow down. What an excellent night for him and his team.
George dishes to Morris, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
That looks like a lack of focus. You've got to question what he was trying to accomplish there.
So, for the Clippers, Batum comes in for Morris. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Paul George. Portland also making some changes. Nurkic checked in for Enes Kanter. Robert Covington comes in for Anthony. And Norman Powell subbed in for Derek Jones. Three-pointer, Lillard. And that one is off. The Clippers go the other way with it. Leonard finds Patterson. And the basket is good.
Well, Kawhi Leonard's passing skills have developed over the years. And if you give him that much attention, he'll find his teammates.
Lillard with no one around. Kicks it out to McCollum. Lillard outside. Portland needs to get off a shot. Leonard with the steal. 3-on-3. Batum for 3. Portland grabs the miss. Now here's Lillard. From deep three-point range, kicks it out to McCollum. Portland moving the ball around. Back to Lillard. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 3 assists in the game. Clippers trail by 12. Rondo passes to Jackson. Batum, good.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson, using his poise and vision to make a play.
And a deep 3 from Lillard. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Lillard's got the lead up to 13 now for the Trailblazers. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And here are the Trailblazers now. Trailblazers leading by 13. McCollum dishes to Covington. Passes it to Powell. Lets it go from deep. Batum grabs the miss. Batum's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Rondo. Rondo's got his 4th assist in this one. The pass to Nurkic. It's stolen by Rondo. Here's Jackson. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead.
He always had great instincts defensively. Rondo using that length there to come up with the steal.
Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. It's McCollum on the wing. Lillard outside. For the 3. Portland no good that time either. Clippers trail by 9. All going up court. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for Portland. Over Jackson. Kicks it out to McCollum. Lillard outside. 6 on the shot clock. Tries again. It's rebounded by Leonard. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
And Leonard stays with it.
Kawhi Leonard, still one of the hardest working players in the league. Active on the offensive glass there.
McCollum against Rondo. Back to McCollum. Nurkic in the post. Patterson defending. McCollum passes to Nurkic. Back to McCollum from downtown. The Clippers grab the miss. Patterson with it. Off the mark. And so it's Portland winning this one. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Here are the Nuggets unloading from the team bus earlier on. Anxious. Looking now at the lineup for both teams tonight. Some names out of action.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. Aaron Gordon out there with Porter. Then it's Will Barton. Then there's Murray. And it's Jokic in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Clippers, they've got Rajon Rondo. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. And so the Denver Nuggets get the first points in the ballgame. And Leonard has it in the corner. Now here's George. No good on the triple. Porter kicks to Murray. Leonard against Porter. To the inside. 5 to shoot. Jokic with the bucket. Deep benches tonight, Greg, on both sides. This seems to be a growing trend.
You know, teams are digging deeper than ever before, even getting into the two-way contracts that give you depth past your top 15 guys. One, you're trying to protect the investment in your big-ticket items, your franchise-caliber players, but you got to keep an eye on the future in terms of player development. That's another area where the league has really changed when you look at the makeup of these rosters.
Well said. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And Jamal Murray showing that he's capable moving without the ball to find some points.
And George kicks to Batum. There's the pass to Leonard. And it's George missing. Nuggets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Back to Barton. Jokic passes to Barton. To the middle. And Jokic gets it to go. The assist by Barton. Jokic has got 6.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Well, we know, Greg, that Jokic is such a unique talent at that center position. Young player, already top 10 in career triple-doubles.
How about the most triple-doubles ever by a foreign player? You think of the great skilled European big man. Jokic, arguably the most skilled of them all.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Jokic.
Good scorers have that ability. When Leonard gets that deep, it's usually a bucket, a trip to the free throw line, or both. And you can tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
On the wing, Porter passes it to Gordon. Over Morris. And that one hits back iron. Clippers trail by 8. Here's Jackson. Porter with a block.
And, you know, as he learns the game at this level, he's going to block more shots. Porter has the length and the ability to move his feet.
displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, if you walked in at any point during this game to watch 5 minutes of play, one team played harder. We know who that was.
You have got to be kidding.
Hey, talk about taking things into your own hands. Clippers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Jackson. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes. Can find the creases with that handle.
It's stolen by Morris. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Here's Leonard. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And that's a momentum shifter. A steal leading straight to the basket.
The Nuggets leading by 8. Jokic with it, guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Jokic passes to Porter. Back to Jokic. It's good. Jokic has got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Now Patterson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
You know Jackson can just fly. I mean, that athleticism and energy is off the charts.
Pass to Jokic. The shot that time, not on target. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Leonard attacking. Count it. He's got 6.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
To the paint. Got a piece of it. Gordon finds Porter. Knocks down the 3 ball.
Does so much out there to stretch out the defense when he's out on the perimeter, and he drains the triple.
He lobs it up. And that does it for the first quarter. Denver on top. They're up by 9. And the... And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, that worked wonders for them in the quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments get made.
Jackson is out there with Kennard. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's Patterson in at the center. They're the group out there for the Clippers starting the second quarter. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Down low. Here's Bol. And the dunk by Bol.
That's just too easy for Ball. Once he gets the right position, his focus there is on the finish.
George against Millsap. The shot by George, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Campazzo, he's covered by Rondo. Misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor.
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. The 3 from George. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Yeah, pestering right now, and that's going to pay some dividends. At some point, there's going to be a turnover.
And here's Millsap from the arc. Tips it up. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Bulls got the lead up to 12 now for the Nuggets.
The towering presence that is Ball. Good at staying active and going after those offensive rebounds.
And good that time.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Campazzo, he's covered by Rondo. Elbow shot. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
From deep, George. And it's George again missing.
This has not been a good quarter right here. Shot has been off the mark, and now it looks, Kevin, like he's pressing a bit.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
He's made one and missed one so far in the game. Looking at current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
Man, there's so many guys that, you know, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table, but in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, you know, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are three names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did. Jokic has checked in for Denver. Porter comes in for Green. Murray, the pass to Gordon. Batum with the steal.
And you saw him gauging that pass there. He knew they were coming inside with it and got in position for the steal.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Like that from Murray right there. When he's passing it like this, it can make him so much better and so much more open.
And a story about Jamal Murray. He was doing two-a-days for Team Canada, and the coach wanted him to rest, you know, so he confiscates his sneakers, came back and found him working out barefoot.
Well, they might want to check his web browser because I believe he did a search for lock picks because they put bars on the door to keep him out of the gym, and he still might try to find a way in.
Barton kicks to Jokic over Rondo. Porter passes to Jokic. Right side, Gordon. Just 3 to shoot. It's hauled in by Zubac. Clippers trail by 8. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Well, once Paul George gets in that deep, get out of the way. He's coming right at you.
George against Murray. He dishes it to Gordon. Murray right side. And so it looks like Denver will retain possession here. .40 left in the first half of the game. Barton finds Murray.
Because of Paul George's athleticism, he can do a lot of things. He turns guys over. He blocks shots. He's got great hands. He affects a lot defensively.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
For the Clippers, Patterson, he's checked in for Batum. Marcus Morris comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And Denver with a change here, too. Green's checked in for 3. Murray. That one, no good. And it's the Clippers' ball. They're on a 10-2 run here, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Paul George does a great job changing speeds right there, and that's a huge part of his athleticism. Takes it strong to the cup and just daring a defender to come at it. Well, his body control is phenomenal, and his ability to get to the line has always been impressive. That's a huge part of his game.
To the middle, here's Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 4 assists in the game.
Such an outstanding effort there for the big man to stay focused with his shot. Jokic, tremendous concentration.
Jokic with the steal. With 1 on the clock. No good on the last second attempt there. And that'll do it for the first half. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. The first quarter was all about Nikola Jokic. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds. And that does it for our...
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Jokic in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Taking a look at the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon out there with Jokic. Then there's Jamal Murray. Then it's Michael Porter. And it's Barton in at the 2 spot.
Well, Barton had a good feel about what was happening defensively, and his teammate was wide open.
George, that's a 2-pointer. The shot comes out. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. Jokic is running. Porter, no luck. Clippers trail by 6. And that one is good from Zubac. Zubac has got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
Jokic kicks to Porter. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. Porter's got 5 points now in the quarter.
He just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players playing today can do.
Outside, Batum. Inside. Shot is good, and the Nugget lead is cut to just 5 points in the basket from George.
Well, that's Paul George's game. Most accurate when somebody's feeding him and he's got his feet set.
Jokic against Zubac. For 3. And Jokic with the basket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And with what we saw in the bubble, Murray has clearly elevated his game. Showed that he could be a #1 option on offense. I mean, his output was an incredible part of that run for the Nuggets.
Murray. And Murray with the second chance points. And it's a 10-point Nugget lead.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here's George. And again, the Clippers good for 2. You know, Greg, the further we went into the playoffs, the more Jamal Murray looked like a star.
I mean, Kevin, big shots in clutch situations, logged heavy minutes, but, you know, never wavered. A truly heroic performance from Murray all postseason.
Shot clock at 6. Gordon, the pass to Jokic. Shoots over Zubac. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Here's Rondo. No good that time. Now Denver takes it the other way. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. McGee. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And the Nuggets lead by 10.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Not an easy basket for Jackson. He doesn't shoot a really high percentage, but he does make a lot of tough hoops.
Campazzo, guarded by Jackson. Outside for Millsap. Pass to Dozier. To the inside. McGee dishes the ball. Morris with the rebound. Clippers trail by 8. Here's Kennard. And he banks in the layup. Kennard's got his second bucket.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
To the wing on the left. To the paint. Cuts off the pass. Morris outside. They get the rebound. Unable to get that one.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Ball kicks to Millsap. There's the triple. It's hauled in by the Clippers. There's 31 seconds left in the third. Kennard for three. Here's Jackson, and it's sent back by Millsap.
Great block from Millsap, sending that one back.
Jackson misses.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And so Green will bring it up for Denver. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Kicks to Porter, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And stolen by Bull. 1 second left. Offline. And so it's the Denver Nuggets with their lead standing at 6 points. And how about a look now at our assist to the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
Sometimes it happens when the offense is struggling, but every now and then this helps with the offensive uptick right there. Great job of setting his teammate up.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. They've got Patrick Patterson. Kennard is out there with Morris. And there's Jackson, and it's man in at the 2. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Jackson with it. And he makes that one.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Gordon, the pass to Millsap. Back to Gordon. Puts up a 3. He can't get that one to fall. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
Well, there's more he could have done in this game for sure, but it hasn't kept them from pulling ahead.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Jokic comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Michael Porter in for JaMychal Green.
Surprising quickness. Murray bearing his head down and just sprinting to the rack.
Rondo kicks to Batum. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Outside for Rondo. Clock at 6. Here's George. But they get it there.
Now that's where you get a good indicator of how skilled Paul George is. Gets creative against the defense.
Murray with the bounce pass. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
That's tough because that one's preventable. The defense has nothing to do at all with that turnover.
Rondo dishes to George. Jokic grabs the miss.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him find his touch and still be a factor. Don't count them out yet.
Barton finds Jokic, and so they choose to intentionally foul. Here's Jokic. And again, Denver no good. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Leonard. And the layup's good off the glass.
It's remarkable what he's able to do. Leonard with a guy draped all over him, still able to convert.
Campazzo defended by George. Jokic passes to Barton. The 10-footer. And it's sent back by George. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Clock at 2. The putback. It's good on the putback.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
And a deep 3 from George. The long distance 3 is buried.
Go ahead and lead him, Paul George. Stepping up, a huge shot at this moment in the game.
The pass to Jokic. And that one's in. He's only missed 3 of 13.
Well, Jokic needed it, and he got it.
Clippers trail by 5. And a deep three from George. Here's Zubac. And Batum kicks to George. Drops in the layup for 2. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, Paul George has definitely garnered some strength through the years now, and he's developed that over time in the offseason, being diligent with his work ethic and gets through contact on that play.
Campazzo passes it to Jokic. And there's another one for the Nuggets.
Man, Jokic is making all kinds of plays here tonight. Very aggressive on the offensive end.
George against Barton. And George, here we go. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. He drops the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
Just 1 year in college for Paul George, and then made the transition to the NBA, and all the talk was about what it is we're seeing now. A very capable two-way player and all-star caliber talent.
Over to the left wing. 1:06 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Down low. Here's McGee, and it's McGee slamming it down.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. Jokic grabs the miss. And so it's Jokic with the ball. He brings it up for Denver. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Murray finds Jokic. Over Batum. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Well, they shouldn't be giving that shot to anyone, but they certainly shouldn't be giving it to him. That's a big break for the defense.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
Inside. Pass to Jokic.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
George, no good. So the Nuggets win it. A narrow win under difficult circumstances. David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it. Our cameras caught the Clippers arriving at their building and coming through the tunnel with a lot of style and confidence. There it is, the Staples Center, and a couple of injuries among their reserves. I expect their starters guys will be ready to do whatever's needed.
2 players injured, one of their stars out, something they'll have to dig deep to overcome.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Doncic out there with Richardson. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Clippers, Rajon Rondo is out there with Paul George. Then there's Batum. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Zubats in at the 5 down low.
And known as a tremendous shooter for his size, Porzingis wasn't quite as accurate last season, which surprised some people.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, some people would automatically assume that because Doncic attracts so much attention that Porzingis would get more wide open looks. But you got to remember, Porzingis missed a full season and was coming off an injury and needed to reacclimate himself to NBA gameplay. So that takes usually a season plus another season before you're all the way back.
And the dunk by Zubats.
And when he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
And you know, those second chance opportunities can be game changing. He represents so much value to this team because of what he does.
Here's Doncic. The Clippers getting the bucket. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic.
You know, we talk a lot about confidence right there. Porzingis showed plenty of it.
George finds Batum. Back to George. Deep. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
You know, guys, I think he's got confidence to shoot it from anywhere, but he could have gotten a better one than that.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, Josh Richardson is just not a scorer and defender, folks. He can pass it, too.
George from deep three-point land. Porzingis with the rebound.
You know, currently they're just 1 of 5 from the field. That's not going to get it done.
George against Doncic. Out to the right wing. Kleba, the pass to Doncic. Dallas moving it around. 6 on the shot clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Hey, you can't forget about this now. Rondo's average double-digit assists multiple seasons. As good a passer as any in this league.
And that one's good. Doncic.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Here's George. And it's George finishing it off.
Amazing athleticism from George. I mean, sprinting towards the bucket and getting there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
On the wing, Doncic. Leonard with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Here's George. Porzingis with the block. And they're running. Goes up on the wing. No good from Finney-Smith.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
George dishes to Batum. George against Doncic. That's good for George on the assist by Rondo. Well, it seems like every year, Greg, we see some incredible new players come to the NBA, and they are welcome with open arms. Their style of play is so terrific.
No doubt about it. You know, guys like Ja Morant, I think he's got a chance to be one of the greats. And any list about the future of the NBA has to include Luka Doncic. I don't know if there's a better basketball talent than that young man. And, you know, let's not forget about Devin Booker out in Phoenix as well. A terrific, terrific player.
3 terrific kids. You're right.
Excellent court awareness from the big man there. Porzingis proven to be a reliable passer.
And George, here we go. Zubats.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now, here's George. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Porzingis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. And Los Angeles with some changes. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubats. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. Powell comes in for Maxi Kleber. Hardaway's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Doncic. And George, here we go. Count the basket.
Yeah, it's really hard to distract Paul George when he goes into a shot. I mean, even though the defense is there and made the obvious foul, doesn't seem to bother him.
The Clippers shooting their first free throw this game.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
And here's Brunson. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. 3-point lead. Pass to Powell. Redick for 3. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. It's been all about Luka Doncic. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
Aggressive at running guys to the backboard. You could tell it was part of their game plan coming in.
Yeah, and you know, when a team establishes an edge on the glass early, it really sets things up for the rest of the game.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for the Clippers right now, Kennard is out there with Morris. Then there's Patrick Patterson. Then there's Jackson, and it's man in at the 2. Hardaway finds Brunson. Now here's Powell. Cauley-Stein trying to free himself up. Powell, that's good.
Well, you know, guys, we know Hardaway can score, but when he makes these passes, it makes him a lot more dangerous.
And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That's his first foul. Clippers with the ball. It's a 3-point game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. And the pass to Redick. Now Brunson. Jackson comes over with the double. Redick for 3. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And this is exactly how Redick makes his living. An incredible 3-point shooter who shoots it quickly.
Jackson against Brunson. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
And how about the confidence right now from Jackson? Not bashful at attacking and drawing attention from there. Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Shot clock at 2. Lets it go from 14. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And Kennard wide open. He shoots. Second chance shot. That's in, and the Dallas lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Mann.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating, I mean, you got to get in there and get tough. Boy, they dodged one there, guys. I mean, he got the wide open look that he wanted, just didn't knock it down.
They now take the lead. Morris has got the lead up to 1 now for the Clippers.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks
from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Porzingis can't hit. Los Angeles leading by 3. Here's George. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. George has got 9 points.
Yeah, excellent determination there from George. This wasn't going to be denied. Fighting off the physical contact and nailing the shot over good defense.
Doncic. That one goes in for him, too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
And I remember when Doncic was first asked, who is your favorite player? And, boy, he did not hesitate. LeBron James.
Hey, Greg, for guys of his generation, that would be the answer for 80 to 90% of them, and with good reason. How about these quotes from Doncic? He said, if I dunk on LeBron, I can retire. But I like this one a little better. He said, LeBron can play in a lot of different positions. I can too. But for me to be like LeBron, I have to work much harder. That's a guy who knows his stuff.
Batum, good. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Clippers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was definitely automatic.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Dallas moving it around. Here's Porzingis. He scores the basket. That's field goal number 3 for him.
And that's why you don't let him get positioned deep in the post.
Exactly. I mean, once he's got the ball in that area, the battle's already lost.
Now, here is George. He's got 11. And he goes right over Luka Doncic and slams it down.
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
Here's Porzingis. He has 6.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul.
And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the official.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
But they recover it. Here's Zubac, and the dunk by Zubac.
There it is, guys. One of those effort plays that makes a big difference in the game.
And GA, it is definitely making a difference so far today.
Well, you know, if you're not going to take care of the defensive glass, it's going to be hard to come.
And we finished one half of basketball. Clippers lead by 9.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to a pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. Their biggest deficit was 6 points in the opening period. Thanks for joining.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Man, how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
Here's who Rick Carlisle. Oh, what a finish!
Good. One of the great athletes in the league, and there are a bunch of them, but he's at the top of the list. Ferocity on that throwdown from Paul George.
Finney Smith passes to Doncic. And the dunk by Porzingis.
I guess he didn't appreciate getting scored on that last strip.
I guess not. He threw it down right on top of him.
How about that guy's a big-time answer? He says, you think you can score on me? Prepare for posterization.
And it's really hard to knock George off his balance. He's just so long and strong. Nice take there.
No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Had the space there, but it's offline. Clippers leading by 11. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And then Leonard enjoys jamming it home. Got to keep him as far away from the hoop as possible.
Pass to Doncic. Greg, you and I have talked about how the NBA Finals used to be tape delayed. What's the value of fans getting to see the broadcast live now as opposed to tape delayed as it was back in the 70s?
Isn't that weird to even think that that's the case?
I know it.
You know, I think, Kev, that the fans, they just feel more connected to their favorite teams, the end players. It creates more anxiety, right? Because nowadays there's nothing that can happen that you don't know about it, whether you see it or not. So live sports, especially the NBA Finals, the anticipation, that anxiety that we talked about, man, I'm still a fan to this day in a different way. So I can only imagine when you have a personal vested interest in a team, what that's got to feel like.
Edge of your seat, you're right. And the dunk by Batum.
And Batum throwing it down with ease.
This is it to Doncic. To the middle. Porzingis kicks to Kleba. The drive by Doncic. Porzingis. It's hauled in by Zubac.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result.
Doncic passes to Porzingis.
Yeah, you know, it's rare to see a 7-footer shoot well from the foul line, guys, but that's Porzingis for you.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
How about up over the 80% mark from the line last year? So he's happy and also consistent there with those numbers.
Dallas making a switch here. Nelly is checked in for Maxi Kleba. Hardaway comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Burke, he's checked in for Richardson. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Doncic. Anderson passes to Zubac. It's rebounded by Dallas. Here's Brunson. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Here's Jackson. To the inside. And the dunk by Zubac.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Brunson scanning the floor. Here's Porzingis. Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Jackson down low. Brunson covering. Out to Morris. Beyond the arc. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Morris has got 5 points so far. 59 seconds left in the third quarter of the game.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's Patterson, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Patterson's got his first basket.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
So far, he's hit all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4. And the first one at the line is good. And both free throws good for Porzingis.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Rondo passes to Kennard. To the paint. Here's Okuru. Porzingis with the block.
Tell you what, Porzingis showing great timing as the anchor of the defense there.
Hardaway, no good. Kennard, the pass to Coffey. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And the Clippers lead by 16.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
And so it's Los Angeles in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. And their ability to get points. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Patrick Patterson is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Rondo in at the point. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Now here's Rondo. Pass to Morris. Leonard with the ball. Back to Morris. And another shot. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season. I was championship night. I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I was wired shut for 8 weeks. Did miss a game, but I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today. But you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah. Got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall with my face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Ouch. It's good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact, straightforward call, simple.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for the Mavericks.
There's an awful lot to like about Doncic, but probably what jumps out at me most is how competitive he is. I mean, he wants to dominate whoever's guarding it.
Feeds it to Leonard. Powell with the steal. Richardson against Rondo.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
George with the ball. He's picked up by Doncic. Rondo can't get it to go.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And foul call. Looks like they had a clear path to the basket. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. And they'll retain possession. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Los Angeles.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
Zingas, he's checked in for Dallas. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for J.J. Redick. And both free throws good for Porzingis.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throw.
And George kicks to Morris. Now George. And then George with the jam.
Well, I tell you what, George has tremendous bounce ability. It's always fun to see him launch and throw it down.
Near the three-point line, it's Doncic. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Rondo passes to Leonard. The pass to Zubac. He kicks it to Morris. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. Clippers leading by 10. Morris dishes to Rondo. Clippers moving the ball around. And George gets it to go.
And, you know, the long-range shooting of PG is admirable. I mean, he's a dead-eye launcher from deep. And he's developed that part of his game over the years.
And here's Doncic from the arc. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Doncic against George. Lays it up off the glass. George has got 7 points here in this quarter.
And, you know, once George gets on the roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Outside Rondo. Pass to George. The three. And Zubac picks up the 5. That's his 5th foul. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for the Clippers. The Mavericks are gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Brunson the pass to Reddick. Fires from deep. Good on the triple.
Boy, the catch and shoot shot doesn't get any better than that. Reddick on the money. ATM time.
George passes to Rondo. George with the ball. And it's George finishing it off.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Brunson against Rondo. Passes to Cauley-Stein. Back to Brunson from deep three-point range. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. And here's George from deep. That shot no good. And a deep 3 from Reddick. And the miss.
Passion is something we love to see no matter what.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight. And coming to you today from Portland, Oregon. Both teams tonight dealing with some injuries. Here's a look at who's out for the evening.
And with both teams at less than full strength, we'll have to see which side is able to remain more effective.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Rondo in at the point guard. And for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Nurkic. And it's Powell in at the small forward position. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And the layup falls.
Going to tally up another helper for Rondo. I mean, he just keeps climbing that all-time assist-less, incredible career that keeps going.
Now, here's Lillard. Kicks it to McCollum. Jacks up a three. Lillard misses. Leonard against Powell. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Rondo. Plenty of experience, Greg, on the floor tonight. How does that shape what we're about to see, do you think?
You know, Kevin, this is one of those games where guys are going to be smart out on the floor. They're going to be in the right positions to make plays. And honestly, this could come down to who makes the bigger, tougher shots.
McCollum kicks to Powell. Covington trying to break free. And that's good. Norman Powell for three.
Great court awareness from the crafty guard McCollum. A good teammate who likes hitting his open guys.
And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Takes the three. And the Trailblazers another three.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Outside Leonard. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's George. Banked in off the glass. George has got his second bucket of the game to go.
This is the kind of teammate Batum is. You like seeing him share it.
Lillard, the pass to McCollum. Down low. Stolen by Zubac. Rondo passes to Leonard. C.J. McCollum comes up with the rebound.
That's a shot they're always happy to get, even when he blows the finish.
And the rejection by Zubac. Here's George. The shot, no good. Good D by McCollum. Lillard against Zubac. Lillard attacking. Count that one.
Can't do a lot to stop Lillard. He's amazing at absorbing contact on these drives.
Rondo kicks to Zubac. And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That's his first foul. Enes Kanter's checked in for Portland. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. And then for Los Angeles, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Zubac. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Jackson in for Rajon Rondo. And that one's good, George. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Portland Trailblazers. 1:52 left to play here in the first.
He just can't find the touch this quarter. Yeah, he's got to keep grinding, though, and looking for the best shot possible.
And finished off by Leonard.
And with a good mix of power and agility, Leonard can throw it down with the best of them.
Powell with it. McCollum outside. Anthony against Morris. Lillard right side. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Leonard. Lillard misses.
He's disappeared this quarter. He can't get anything to drop. That's not going to help him get out of the hole.
And the wide open shot from Morris. No good on the three. Portland trailing here. Cullen passes to Kanter. He dishes it to Powell. From down in the low post, it goes. Powell's got 5 now.
This is the kind of ball movement they want to get from Cantor. Scan the floor, and when you spot the open man, get it to him.
Morris into the lane. Outside, George. Excellent D from Cantor.
It's a very aggressive defense to prevent the easy lay-in.
Powell with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock.
What strength from Leonard there, not allowing the defense to get the best of him.
And here's McCollum. Fires the three. Traps in the tray. 6 points for him. Here's Jackson. They trail by 1. And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. 9 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And he knocks down the first one.
Oh, and Jackson is not just a terrific shooter, but a fantastic defender as well, using his great speed on both ends.
Now McCollum. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Clippers ahead, leading by just 1. From Portland, we're back in a moment. Before the game, we talked with Damian Lillard. He had this to say when asked about his future plans.
I know that when the main guy uses...
He's willing to bear the brunt, and he's also looking out for others.
Great leadership. His teammates seem to rally around that, and it's why every team he's on is a difficult out.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
So for the Clippers right now, Morris is out there with Kennard. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's man in at the shooting guard position. Now here's Anthony. No points in the game yet for him. The rebound by Patterson. And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul at the game. A different look now for Portland. Yusuf Nurkic comes in for Enes Kanter. And Robert Covington subbed in for Anthony. The Clippers also changing it up. Zubac is checked in for Patterson. Batum comes in for Morris. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Jackson. He's all alone. It's tipped. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Shots good by Kennard.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
It's McCollum on the wing. That one drops for him.
You got to respect the intelligence of McCollum, a pro at utilizing the pick and roll. You can't let him get into a comfort zone.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Batum passes to man. Here's Rondo. Portland grabs the miss. McCollum feeling it out a bit. High post, Nurkic, and finished off by Nurkic.
Just focusing on the task at hand. That's all you can do.
Oh, you know what it is. One play at a time. That's got to be the mindset, especially in such a tight game.
Here's man. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here we go, one-on-one. Covington kicks to McCollum. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep. I'm sure you've got a list, Greg, of players you've visited with over the years who you really enjoy spending some time with and talking to.
I mean, there are so many, Kevin. A couple guys, and there is a little bias as a point guard, but Damian Lillard and Steph Curry and Chris Paul, 3 guys that, you know, I enjoy sitting down and talking shop with. Giannis, you know, witnessing his journey to greatness, all the while he remains humble and really appreciates his position. So several of these guys, I'm also not just an analyst partner, but a fan, and a big fan of theirs.
You are a fan indeed. Here's what Portland's going with right now. Norman Powell comes in for McCollum, and Damian Lillard is subbed in for Anthony Simons. Now here's Jones, and he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Leonard with the steal.
Playing a little cornerback there. Anticipates the pass and jumps the route.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
So hard to guard, really, without fouling. Leonard is an expert at forcing the issue and getting the call.
And the Clippers making a change here. Jackson's checked in.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Nobody near Lillard. That 3 off the mark.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And Covington sends it back. Zubac, that's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Yeah, I love the court awareness from Kawhi there. Dependable at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Three-pointer, Lillard bangs home the trifecta. Lillard's got 5.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooting.
Outside Jackson. Here's George. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
A guy with George's focus can shrug off the contact. He won't let the defender disrupt his rhythm.
Leonard against Lillard. Inside, stolen by Zubac. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Leonard's got the... Whoa, what a finish!
Run that back. I want to see the replay now.
And throw it down, Kawhi. That was nasty. Love watching him go hard and attacking with power.
Now here's Lillard. 5 points in the game.
Yeah, good job to take it right at them.
Portland shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Oh, man, an underrated big man. Nurkic, I mean, his brute strength is intimidating to deal with on both ends.
Ennis Cantor's checked in for Portland. Anthony comes in for Jones. Patterson is checked in for the Clippers. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Now, here is George. He's got 8. And it's off from three-point range. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Lillard. Cantor. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
Now, that's the staple of Cantor's game. This guy has a knack for knowing how to come up with offensive boards.
And then George with the jam.
And putting his explosive athleticism on full display there. George is capable of some highlight reel dunks.
That's a 2 from Powell. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie, a pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They were never able to get the lead above 4. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You know, C.J. McCollum has been exceptional here, guys.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
This game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Nurkic is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Powell in at the 3 spot. Here's Lillard. Paul George making his last shot, and then Lillard slams it in.
Well, you can't give any lane to the basket. Once Lillard sees it, he jumps all over.
Leonard against Covington. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. A fantastic mobile one block. This one deserves another look.
Close games can boil down to who makes plays on defense, and that is one heck of a rejection right there.
Now here is George. 12 points for him. 4 on the clock, and George with the stuff.
Punishing the rim there. When George makes up his mind he's going to dunk it, there is not much you can do.
Trailblazers trail by 3. Lillard outside. Off target from three-point range.
And until he starts knocking down some shots, I don't think the deficit's going to get this far.
And busting it up the floor, Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't lack, it's hustle.
McCollum outside. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. They get it back. A double clutch. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Oh, he's a real menace. Nurkic is 7'1". He's difficult to guard without foul.
The Trailblazers have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. Greg, if you're a small market team, how do you convince stars that you've drafted and developed to stay and re-sign?
It's a great question, Kevin. I actually think in a lot of ways it's easier today because you can be box office. You can be a superstar in a small market and have the name recognition because of the era we play in. And so I think the biggest way to keep him there is to build a championship caliber team around him. I think that is your saving grace. If you can prove to them that you can build a championship caliber team, I don't really think that there is a reason to want to leave.
It's a solid blueprint.
Oh, great flow to that possession. 2 players totally in sync with each other.
George against McCollum. Takes it out to Leonard. Back to George. George double teamed. He can't hit that time. Excellent D from Cantor. Now the pass to Simons. Portland moving the ball around. McCollum outside. Over Rondo. Yep, it goes, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 2 points from the bucket from McCollum.
Got to admire the precise shooting of McCollum. He's phenomenal at shooting over defenders. He has such a quick release.
And McCollum on the floor, all business. Off the court, he's a very outspoken player, very colorful guy. Greg, you were saying you see a future in media for him when he stops playing.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, McCollum spoke up quickly about the seriousness of the virus when they were playing. He's very knowledgeable and shares what's on his mind. A media position after he's done playing is a very real possibility if he chooses to.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Simons. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 3 assists now in this one. Here's Jackson. 1:10 left to play in the third. Makes it off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 4.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Here's Simons, guarded by Jackson. McCollum right side to the middle. Here's Anthony. A stupendous finish and trap. Anthony's got his first points in this one.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Here's Jackson. 40 seconds left to play here in the third. Passes it to Oturu. Here's Coffey, defended by Jones. Here's Oturu. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Pass to Coffey. Back to Morris. The pass to Coffey. It's stolen by Jones. Lobs it up for Cantor, and he hits it to tie the game up.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I gotta say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going. It's all tied in Portland. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, it's also called making a good read, understanding where everyone is and taking full advantage. Fantastic.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. So for the Clippers right now, we've got Marcus Morris. Patrick Patterson is out there with Ivica Zubac. And there's Jackson, and it's man in at the two-guard spot. And that's an intentional foul. Here's Anthony. To take the lead. No good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Here's Leonard. Keeps it alive, and it's put back up and in by Rondo. Rondo's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Clippers.
Well, how do you describe Rondo's approach? I think it's disciplined, fearless, and opportunistic.
Now here's Lillard. He kicks it to Powell. 6 to shoot. And it's Lillard missing. Nurkic with the steal. Lillard outside. And Zubac picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Trailblazers making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. And a missed layup.
Nice work on the glass, but his defense is even better. Really has an impact on that shot.
The shot by George, no good. Portland's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Got a piece of it. Batum with the steal. And Damian Lillard pulls it down. The Trailblazers have gone 0-3 to start the fourth quarter. The putback. There's Nurkic putting it right back in. Nurkic has got the game tied up here for the Trailblazers.
Well, a big reason Nurkic impacts games is for that ability right there, staying active on the glass at both ends, converting to second chances.
Now, here's Batum. Leonard looking around. And he makes good on the layup.
They couldn't have asked for much more from him today. He's been a key force in their offense.
Trailblazers have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. Lillard against Leonard. And the shot goes in.
Superb form. Lillard has the mid-range shot on lockdown.
Clippers have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. On the wing, George. He's guarded by McCollum. Outside, George. On his 15th shot attempt, he makes his 9th basket, shooting a healthy 60% tonight.
And guys, George takes pride in hitting big shots. Just get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now here's McCollum. Back to Lillard. Just 5 on the clock. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Paul George with the steal. And they go to the intentional foul. Enes Kanter's checked in for Nurkic. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Los Angeles. 1:44 left in the fourth quarter. And the Clippers call time here. They're up by 2. There's 1:38 left in the fourth. Now let's take a look at the New Balance player of the game, Paul George.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
Anthony's checked in for the Trailblazers. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Paul George is checked in for Jackson. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. With this game still up for grabs, he told his team, hey, we're in position to take this one, guys. Let's stay focused and stay together, and we'll get it done. See how it plays out, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Now here's McCollum. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. McCollum dishes to Lillard. That one good for two.
Lillard is known for being a clutch shooter. He's the guy they go to. He's the guy they believe in.
The Clippers have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. George looking over the floor. Zubac trying to break loose. Count it!
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, he approached that one with total confidence. He has what it takes to come through in the clutch.
Now here's McCollum. Here's Lillard. Feeds it to Anthony. Back to Lillard. On the clock. Bullseye!
He wants the ball. They want him to have the ball. And as usual, he comes through in the clutch.
Outside, George. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Zubac. It falls!
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
McCollum kicks to Lillard. That will count. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot. No good. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a close one. This wins. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
A beautiful skyline of... And a look at the status here of both teams' injured players and who will not be in the lineup.
And with both teams at less than full strength, we'll have to see which side is able to remain more effective.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Batum is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Rajon Rondo. Then it's Paul George. And it's Zubac in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Nuggets, we've got Gordon. Murray out there with Will Barton. Then it's Porter. And it's Jokic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Barton against George. He dishes it to Batum. Back to George. And the teams we're seeing tonight, Steve, they have very deep rotations.
And Kevin, when you can go maybe 10 deep, it keeps your locker room happy. It also protects your team against injuries sinking a season.
Here's Jokic. Paul George making his last shot. Jokic passes to Porter. Back to Jokic. Leonard with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up. Rondo's running. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. One-on-one here. And a wide open look for Porter. No good from outside. And it's Rondo with the ball for the Clippers. Right wing. And stolen by Murray. Here we go. One-on-one. Lob pass to Gordon. Great communication on the alley-oop.
Always hustling. Gordon puts forth a serious effort there. Helps him to find his shot.
Rondo kicks to Batum. Leonard looking around. From past the arc. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
On the wing, George. Back to Rondo. To the paint. Here's Zubac, and it's blocked by Gordon.
No, I wouldn't test Gordon. With that vertical and length, please try someone else.
Leonard the pass to George. Left side, Batum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Clippers need to get off a shot, and that one is good from Zubac.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
Well, you can't help but think of the dunk contest robbery with Aaron Gordon. Didn't receive max points on some of his dunks that clearly deserved it. Said he's done with the event after the last go, and I can't say I blame him.
And now Jokic pushing it up. No one back to stop him. He was all alone on that one.
And Murray is so deadly with the catch and shoot, Jay. When the D isn't playing up on him, he has no problem going right up with it.
Now here's Rondo. It's George on the wing. Martin defending. And Michael Porter is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Morris against Millsap. Morris passes to Mann. Feeds to Patterson. And it goes down 2 points. And with the dunk contest and Aaron Gordon, some of the dunks he pulled off, Greg, were outstanding.
I mean, going over Taco Fall was the big one. The one-handed windmill was impressive as well. Gordon doesn't need a trophy. Everyone knows he's one of the best dunkers we've ever seen.
Now Gordon following the three-point attempt by Jokic. Another shot. Up again. Jokic on the follow.
Such a savvy player. Love watching Jokic battle for positioning on the offensive glass.
Pass to Patterson. Knocked loose and stolen by Gordon. And the Nuggets pushing it up now. It's deflected. Denver passing it around. From outside, off the mark. The Clippers trail. And pushing it up. Here's the Clippers. Patterson, that's good.
It's amazing everything Leonard gives you, including the eyes to find the open man.
52 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Jokic. The feed to Millsap. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic.
A rugged finish from Millsap, undeterred by the defense.
Jackson looking around. Up and in on the layup.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Millsap kicks to Gordon. Now the Clippers moving it up. Here's Morris, and Morris throws it down.
And you see Morris aware of his surroundings, getting a good jump down court.
Murray for three. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Los Angeles on top. They're up by 2. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
Selfless. I mean, you need to
Greg, there are areas of Jokic's game where he probably is the best in the world.
I can't think of a center with better floor vision or better passing ability. His positioning, his angles, his ability to use his size to maximize effectiveness, all at an elite level.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
They came in looking to attack from the get-go, willing to be physical and setting the tone.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for the Clippers right now, we've got Luke Kennard. Morris is out there with Patrick Patterson. And there's Jackson, and it's Mann in at the shooting guard position. Mann passes to Kennard. Out left to the wing. The putback. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. And Bull wide open. He shoots, and it's slammed in by Millsap.
When you look at Paul Millsap, not the tallest power forward, but has that terrific wingspan.
The Clippers have gone 0 of 3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Here's Jackson. Rebounded by McGee.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Rondo with it. Now guarded by Porter. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Yeah, they are really starting to push it now.
The Nuggets have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. And there's the pass to Green. Campazzo defended by George. Barton wide open. He fires. And another miss by Denver. The Clippers have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5.
And this is how you score in transition. And Paul George, you just have to appreciate his hustle.
Campazzo defended by George. Back to McGee. Pocket 4. From the baseline. Porter, no luck. And it's Rondo with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. Nobody near Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by George. And now a 5-point Clipper lead. McGee with it. George picks him up. Back to McGee. And he uses the glass on the layup. Greg, we have a league of many great playmakers, don't we?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. LeBron James is obvious. You know, he played point guard technically for the first time last season, but he's always been a floor general. You look at a young man like Ja Morant, and he's been on the attack since day one when he hit the league. And there's so many more of those guys that are having an impact, understanding the value of that lead guard position. It is fun to watch.
It is so fun to watch. I agree. Zubac's in the post. He's against Jokic. Leonard dishes to Rondo. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Outside, George shoots over Barton. Here's Batum. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Barton. He's looking for Porter and finds him. Murray outside. And he gets it to go.
And the confidence from Murray, just so efficient from the interior.
Rondo against Murray. Offside Rondo. Pass to Zubac. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Zubac has got his second basket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And here's Jokic. From 18 feet away, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Jokic has got 6.
A focal point of this offense. Jokic is comfortable handling the bulk of the scoring load on this team.
7-second difference, shot and game clock, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Clearly a foul.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Free throw shooting, not an area he has worried about at all. How about last year? 88% from the line.
The consummate team player. Paul George is an excellent leader, and he's cool to let others lead also.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Kennard, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Stolen by Jackson. George, that's a 2-pointer. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we read.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, Best. And you think about how Kawhi Leonard is able to dominate from the wing position at both ends of the floor. And
as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
There is no stopping him, and you can't even contain him at this point. He is that talented.
Yeah, and sometimes the strategy in that case, don't let anyone else beat you. You know he's going to get his, so try and keep it to that.
We've got Murray, Aaron Gordon out there with Porter. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Barton in its shooting guard. That's the group for Mike Malone getting going here in the second half. So he gets them both.
We've seen him put a lot of pressure on the defense and then cash in at the line.
Down low. Yep, it goes, and the Clipper lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Gordon.
And there's just so much athleticism to Gordon's game. Good luck trying to contain him inside.
Rondo passes to George. Outside, Batum. Over Gordon. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Batum's got the lead up to 5 now for the Clippers. Murray, the pass to Jokic. Back to Murray. The dish to Porter. George against Murray. He doesn't hit that one. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Here's Leonard. And it's the Clippers scoring again.
Stop it on a dime. Kawhi showing good body control on that pull-up.
Murray kicks to Porter. Batum with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And the Clippers making a switch here. Man's checked in. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Leonard against Porter. Leonard on the wing. He's got 5. Good work there as it goes.
3 straight to begin this half. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Paul George, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Here's McGee. Dishes to Bowl. Shoots over Batum. It's hauled in by Zubats. Los Angeles leading by 9. Here's Leonard, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the... And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throws of the game. That's good from McGee.
Well, how can you not love the continued resurgence of JaVale McGee? There were some years where he was trying to figure it out. Now he's a big factor for this team at center.
Here's Rondo. McGee with the block. Now, here's Bull. Defended by Batum. Campazzo, he's covered by Rondo. Back to McGee. Shot clock at 6. It's tipped. Fires, high post. Dozier can't get it to go. You know, Smitty, the change for McGee's pretty simple. He got some direction on how to play. Now he does everything he can to play within himself.
Kevin, that has been a huge difference maker for JaVale McGee. And you know, when he's focused, he can make an impact. Plays in short bursts, but very effective.
And now we've got the intentional foul. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. We've got 1:55 left in the third. Campazzo buries the long-range jumper.
And at 7'2", Bull has incredible vision, including noticing when his teammates are open.
Jackson passes to Oturu. McGee with the block. They get it back. Here's Dozier. Lays it up off the glass. And now just a 5-point Clipper lead.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
And I just love it when the fast break results in a high percentage look. Not always the case these days.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Passes to Dozier. Out to the right wing. Just 3 to shoot. Now Morris. There's 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Kennard finds Morris. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
With a high basketball IQ and improving playmaking abilities, Luke's growing as a distributor.
The pass to Dozier. Inside, Campazzo. And the shot is good. 5 points in the game.
Attacking the defense with the pass. Don't need to be a hero.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Jackson with it. 12 seconds left in the third. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Jackson's got the lead, back up to 10 now for the Clippers.
I'll tell you, Jackson's first step is dynamite. A big asset off the dribble.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be right back after this. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
This is why you preach teamwork. Some of the most spectacular plays are the ones where guys are feeding off one another.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Luke Kennard out there with Morris. Then there's Patrick Patterson. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's man in at the 2 guard.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
And that one is hammered home.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Also, if you can't get stops at this point, it really doesn't matter what you do at the offensive end.
Kennard, the pass to Jackson. Hey, Greg, if you could coach one team right now, who would it be?
That's a tough one. Clippers, Lakers, Bucks. You know what? I would probably go Lakers or Bucks because you would have an opportunity to coach someone who arguably might be considered the best to ever play the game. Because I think Giannis is trending in that direction, and LeBron obviously already is.
How about a guy like Kemba Walker and coaching the Celtics, having him to do what you want to do on the floor?
Oh, he'd be brilliant. And
yeah.
Kemba, one of the most underrated leaders in our game. Great human being.
Paul Millsap's checked in for the Nuggets. Denver on D. It's a 14-point game. Pass to Rondo. Over Murray. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And when Rondo is dropping in the mid-range shots, it really opens up the floor for everyone else.
Jokic kicks to Gordon. The kick out to Porter. To the wing right side. Shot clock at 5. Here's Murray. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. And it's Gordon missing. Clippers leading by 16. Here's George. Jokic grabs the miss. Denver with the ball. They have yet to put up any points here in the fourth. And finished off by Porter.
And guys, he has all the makings of an elite scorer. Porter combines size, athleticism, and terrific shot-making ability.
That is rare.
Leonard on the wing, guarded by Porter. Millsap against George. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Porter.
Strong take by Paul. He plays with great decisiveness.
JaMychal Green, he's checked in for Porter. And both free throws good for Paul George. The Nuggets trail by 16. Murray surveying the D. Outside, George gets it to go from beyond the arc. George has got 5 points now this quarter.
You need guys who can stretch the floor or the offense doesn't flow. Paul George is one of the best at it. One sign of a great playmaker, hitting his man in stride.
Offside Rondo. Kicks it to Batum. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Pass to Zubac. To the inside. George. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, credit them for maintaining that aggression, even being up this much.
They don't want to leave no chance for a comeback. Just focus on playing the right way.
Great D that time from Batum.
What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Los Angeles.
Fewer miscues made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, a great all-around effort. Not only did they minimize their turnovers, but kept the pressure up on D, forcing the other team to commit turnovers.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for George.
I thought he did a good job of filling out the defense early on. Then once he found his groove, he stayed aggressive throughout.
That's a jump ball.
And Denver has possession. Down low, here's Gordon. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And there's no question that Gordon is a talented player, and it's clear he wants to be a star in this league.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Clippers. Passes it to Zubac. Here's Coffey. Just 4 to shoot. Zubac finds Jackson. Off target from outside. Campazzo uses the glass to finish the layup.
Not just selling for something along the perimeter. Excellent job.
Outside Jackson. The pass to Coffey. Back to Jackson. From deep three-point range. Offensive rebound. So the Clippers winning this one easily. They came in. All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. The sprawling metropolis of... And is...
Hey, Kevin.
It might indeed, David. Well said. Thank you for that report. And they've got a few injuries on their bench. Less options, but you'd think not too big of an impact for them.
2 injuries, one of their stars out, but it's all about how you respond to the adversity.
Here on the 5 for the Clippers. They've got Batum. Paul George is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Zubats in at the center position. And for Dallas, we've got Doncic. Dwight Powell is out there with J.J. Redick. And there's Porzingis. And it's Richardson in at the 2. Now here is George. Doncic with the steal. Here's Richardson. So it's Richardson with the jam.
What a pass by Luka Doncic. He's got tremendous size, and obviously they want the ball in his hands.
And Doncic was part of a draft day trade that so far seems to have worked out pretty well for both teams.
That's exactly right. Doncic, Greg, was selected by Atlanta with the 3rd pick. He was then quickly shipped to Dallas for the 5th overall pick, which turned into Trae Young, plus a future pick. Neither of these young men wasted any time putting their stamp on the NBA. I do think their futures will always be discussed in connection with the other.
And it's Paul George with the finish.
That is Paul George, the incredible vertical and the unbelievable creativity.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Lets the 3 fly. Bangs home the trifecta.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here is George. George missing again. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. The 3 for Doncic. They get it back. Porzingis kicks to Doncic. Redick with the 3. Just 5 to shoot. Paul George with the steal. And he lays that one in. George has got 6.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
The Mavericks have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Rondo against Redick. Pass to Richardson. Bucket is good. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. It's George on the wing, guarded by Doncic. Batum with the 3. Zubac controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Now here's Porzingis. You know, Greg, we know there's some power finishers in the NBA like Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he complains a lot that he needs to sell contact rather than muscle through it. How do you evaluate those kind of power finishers in the game?
Well, I mean, there's still power will always play a role, especially when you can add in quickness and athleticism. And I think you start right there with Giannis. I mean, he's kind of epitomizes that. LeBron obviously is still in that category. And a guy like Kawhi Leonard, he can send you into the stanchion when he gets going downhill as well.
The speed in transition. Paul George is dynamic in space.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Doncic dishes to Redick. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Hardaway's checked in for Dallas. Jalen Brunson comes in for Doncic. And the Clippers with a change here too. Jackson's checked in. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Passes it to George. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's on Porzingis.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dwight Powell. And Trey Burke subbed in for Josh Richardson. Now here's Porzingis. He's still scoreless so far in this one. To the paint, here's Burke. Rebounded by Jackson. Los Angeles leading by 3. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Porzingis.
You got to love the penetration by Paul George. He's really quick on his feet, and the defense cannot handle him right now.
Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for the Mavericks. And both free throws good for Paul George.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Brunson the pass to Cauley-Stein. Here's man. Burke covering. George. The Mavericks pull it in.
Whoops. Got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack.
Here's Kleba. That one falls coming off Burke's feet. Here's Jackson. Here's man. Pass to Jackson. On the wing, George. Cauley-Stein with the defensive effort.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Offensively, they took care of the ball, and defensively, they forced a number of miscues.
Maxi Kleba is out there with Willie Cauley-Stein. Then it's Jalen Brunson. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3 set. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Now here's Hardaway. Great positioning on the putback.
And with his vertical reach, you expect Cauley-Stein to be a factor on the offensive glass.
Jackson passes to Morris. Jackson against Brunson. Jackson drives in, and he banks in the layup. Jackson's got his first bucket in this one.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Launches it. That one doesn't go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Buries it down low. Jackson's got the lead up to 5 now for the Clippers.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
The putback can't hit the putback. Here's man. Brunson covering. Man gets the bucket.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Brunson against Jackson. And Cauley-Stein throws it down.
Cauley-Stein, a tremendous athlete and a dynamic finisher.
Outside Jackson. Inside. Patterson passes to man. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Morris. Here's Patterson. And it's Finney Smith with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 5. Now the pass to Brunson. Dallas moving the ball around. Cauley-Stein passes to Finney Smith. Back to Cauley-Stein. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Cauley-Stein, a serviceable shooter at the line. Let's see if he can make them count.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Dwight Powell's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Reddick comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Richardson, he's checked in for Hardaway. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Jalen Brunson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
George against Doncic. Goes back up. Shakes him. Kicks it out to Leonard. Tries to save it. Los Angeles with another miss. And here we go. Richardson heading to the hoop.
Well, you forget sometimes how much of an impact Rondo can have defensively there, showing off some superb vertical as he goes up for the block.
Here's Richardson. He nails it, and we're tied up. Richardson's got 6. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Doncic against George. Three-pointer. That shot off, and the Mavericks going the other way now. Powell kicks to Richardson. The offensive rebound. It's good on the putback. And the Mavericks lead by 2.
As the game has gone along, they've gotten more and more aggressive on the backboard.
Here's Porzingis with fast break chance. Kicks it out to Richardson. Redick for 3. Batum grabs the miss. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for Los Angeles. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Boy, what is more fear-invoking than Kawhi off the bounce near the cup? Look out.
The Mavericks have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Hits it from three-point range. Doncic has got the lead up to 3 now for Dallas. LA's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. George against Doncic. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
See, I don't think you can teach that. Paul George going right into contact. You love that aggressive-ness.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. The Mavericks have gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. Cauley Stein with it, and Batum picks him up defensively. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That is his first foul of the game. So, for the Clippers, Morris is checked in for Batum. Luke Kennard comes in for George. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Morris with the bucket.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
Leonard with the steal. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a... All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 16 points and 1 steal. That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. They've got Ivica Zubac. Rajon Rondo is out there with Paul George. Then there's Batum, and it's Leonard in at the 3. Rondo, that's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Rondo's got his first points of the game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Mavericks trail by 5. Here's Burke. Off target with his 3. And here is Los Angeles now.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college. But, boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And Dallas going with a whole new group out there.
And really, this is the time to push it. Try to extend that lead.
You know, they can make things much easier on themselves in the fourth if they just have a few more possessions like that.
Now, here's Redick. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Porzingis kicks to Redick. Just 5 on the clock. Looking to end the run. Dallas again missing. And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym, so he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to leave. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
Morris is checked in for the Clippers. Jackson comes in for George. Leonard on the wing. And finished off by Leonard.
Well, almost effortless there from Kawhi Leonard. The reach and leaping ability. Look out.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Now, here's Batum. Left side, Leonard. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Mavericks trail by 11. Doncic outside. To the middle. Powell. That's good. Powell's got his second basket of the game.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Los Angeles.
George passes to Leonard. Zubac kicks to George. And George with the stuff.
I'll tell you, there's little you can do to stop Paul George when he's got his game going. He has the lane to the rim, and you know he's going to finish.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber comes in for Porzingis. Hardaway is subbed in for J.J. Redick. Doncic against Jackson. Doncic dishes to Powell. Out to Doncic. Shot clock reset for Dallas. Hardaway with a wide open look. Nailed from three-point land. Hardaway's got his first 3 points of the game.
How about the timing from Hardaway Jr. looking very comfortable taking shots after catching the pass.
Doncic against Jackson. It's rebounded by Doncic. Mavericks trail by 8. Richardson the pass to Kleber. 1:05 left in the third quarter. Now here's Powell. Yep, that one goes in there.
How about the skills of Dwight Powell down low? Hard for the defense to match up with his length.
Jackson looking it over. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
The Clippers have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line.
And Reggie Jackson, the former 24th pick by the Thunder, wasn't content to back up Westbrook. He basically forced his way out in search of a larger role.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Porzingis, he's checked in for Powell, and it's Jalen Brunson in for Luka Doncic. Now here's Brunson. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. Now the Clippers moving it up. Morris against Kleber. Outside Jackson. Kennard kicks to Jackson. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. It's rebounded by Dallas. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Down low, intercepted. And here we go with Morris, running it up the court. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Morris. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
Not an easy basket for Jackson. He doesn't shoot a really high percentage, but he does make a lot of tough hoops.
And so it's the... And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
So we have some elite passing big men in the NBA, and you love that skill. Wow.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. J.J. Redick is out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Hardaway in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Redick with the 3. Not going to go that time. And the Clippers will come the other way. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Well, he soars to the rim to finish off that alley-oop. Patterson playing way above the cylinder.
And Redick kicks to Brunson. Good on the bucket. Los Angeles leading by 12. 4th quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Chalk up 2 there.
And what a half for this offense. If they can stay this hot, a great chance to extend this lead.
Redick surveying the D.
And he has lost all confidence out there. Still not a single field goal made in the game.
Jackson. Good. Nice job down low.
Well, he had trouble making shots in the first period, but rounding into himself here in the second.
And a deep 3 from Redick. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubac has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Mann. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Clippers lead by 18.
I'll tell you, right now, these guys cannot be stopped.
Boy, it looks like their confidence is at an all-time high, just feeding off each other right now.
On the Mavericks with some changes. Dwight Powell's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for J.J. Redick. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Los Angeles leading by 18. And we're about 2 minutes into the 4th quarter now. And here's George for 3. The Clippers rebound. Leonard kicks to George. There's 3-pointers off the mark. Dallas has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Good on the shot.
Guys, you want to be able to score from all 3 levels, and Hardaway Jr. is capable. That instance, mid-range is on point.
And George, here we go. And George with the stuff.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there. For those just joining us, 4th quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
It's good from long range.
Well, we knew that Paul George was a long-limbed, exceptional defender coming out of Fresno. His offense, though, has been impressive from the time he has stepped between the lines on the NBA level.
Leonard with the steal. And George, hammering it in.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Doncic passes to Finney-Smith. Doncic with it. George picks him up, and it's Doncic missing. And here are the Clippers. They're on a 17-4 run. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Now here's Porzingis. He dishes it to Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Clippers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for George.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And here is Doncic after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Porzingis, that's a 2. It's rebounded by Leonard.
And you can see why he might be off on some of his attempts, getting far fewer shots today than he's accustomed to. Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
Now here's Porzingis. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. To the paint, deflects the pass. Outside Rondo. George looking over the floor. From the arc. The shot off that time. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up.